New year, new Galaxy lineup, and every year we all wonder the same thing. Is it worth the upgrade? Well, the Galaxy S25 is finally here, and after spending some hands-on time with it last week, I'm ready to share my first impressions. So of course, there's some new colors. For the most part, Samsung is sticking with very muted colorways, but the new navy color on the S25 and 25 Plus really stood out to me. It's super nice in person. Titanium silver blue is the hero color for the S25 Ultra, and it's probably my favorite out of the four. It's a very subtle baby blue. I wish it was a bit more punchy, to be honest. Almost looks silver under certain lighting. The camera rings got a subtle redesign this year. I've always felt like the phones looked a little too plain the last couple of years, so I don't mind them adding a bit more personality. It's very similar to the rings we saw on the Fold 6, except these have this floating effect, which is cool and all, but here's the catch. There's a noticeable gap near the bottom that's just begging to collect dust and lint over time. Yeah, not so sure how I feel about it, to be honest. Outside of the camera rings, the S25 and 25 Plus look virtually identical to last year. It's the S25 Ultra that gets a bit of a facelift. They've rounded off the sharp corners that the Note series was known for and completely flattened the frame. Previous Ultra models always felt like they were a totally different device because it was technically just a Galaxy Note in disguise. It's still a little more boxy than the other two, but it looks like a more cohesive lineup now. And if you're wondering, yes, it still has the S Pen integrated, so that's good news. Hardware-wise, the upgrades are very modest. It's essentially a spec bump. You've got the new Snapdragon 8 Elite processor across the entire lineup and a bump in RAM for the base model. The Ultra model gets a slightly larger screen and a new 50-megapixel ultra-wide lens. That's pretty much it. There just aren't a lot of other hardware surprises. No major changes to the battery size, charging speed, display, or even cameras. So if you were expecting some groundbreaking hardware updates, this year feels like more of a fine-tuning rather than anything else. Software-wise, these will all be running One UI 7 with the same impressive 7 years of software support promised from Samsung. Visually, the drop-down menu has a brand new look. They're going with this split layout where the quick settings and notifications are on different pages that you can swipe back and forth between. I've used it on other Android phones and it's kinda annoying at first, but it does grow on you. Either way, I'm sure Samsung gives you the option to disable it. There's also new icons and they've revamped the widgets too. I saw a ton of new options. I'm big on widgets, so that makes me happy. To no one's surprise, Samsung is doubling down on AI features and using this launch to sort of showcase what's new with Galaxy AI. One of the features is Now Bar, a lock screen tool that displays live notifications and media controls. After digging through the settings, it looks like only certain apps will work with it. Stuff like an ongoing timer or sports score from Google for teams you follow. Paired with that, Samsung also has this new thing called Now Brief, which is like an AI-powered personal briefing that pops up 3 times a day, in the morning, afternoon, and evening. You can also access it anytime through a home screen widget or via a shortcut in the Edge panel. The idea is that it'll learn from your usage and display relevant info when you need it in an easy-to-digest format. This way, you don't have to bounce between all those apps, saving you a little bit of time. I'm a little underwhelmed right now, but hey. We'll see once I test it more. If you're a fan of Samsung apps like Notes, Reminders, or Calendar, here's some good news. Gemini, Google's smart assistant, can now interact with all of them. So you can ask Gemini to add things to Samsung Calendar or summarize a website and save it right to Samsung Notes. Gemini usually only works with Google apps, so this is a pretty big statement to how closely Samsung and Google are working together. Honestly, I dig it. Especially for those of you who prefer Samsung's ecosystem, but still want the power of Google's AI. Another example of this partnership is a new feature called Best Face. Think of it as Samsung's version of Google's Best Take. The difference? Instead of needing multiple photos, Samsung's Best Face pulls from motion photo footage. Motion photo basically captures a few seconds of video before the shutter is pressed, letting you scrub through the clip to find the perfect expression to swap in. It'll be interesting to see how well it works with multiple faces and if it's as good as Google's version. So Samsung adding a couple of new AI power tools for video editing. First up, Audio Eraser is a feature in the Gallery app that uses AI to do things like remove annoying background noises, turn up speech, or even turn down wind noises in your videos. Audio Trimming, on the other hand, claims it can cut your video down, almost creating like a highlight reel that trims out all the boring parts. Both tools sound super helpful, but like always, it's gonna boil down to how well they actually work. We shall see. Samsung is also expanding on their generative AI tools. Last year, they introduced sketch to image, and now they've added more ways to generate content. Besides sketching, you can also use your voice, attach a picture, or jot down text prompts to tell the AI exactly what you're after. I tried to have it generate Bruce Lee for fun, but yeah, no luck. Like most generative AI tools, it looks like there are restrictions around people. One feature I think a lot of people will appreciate is call recording. Yes, Galaxy phones can now record phone calls. When you enable the feature, an audio prompt will let everyone on the call know they're being recorded. However, there's a weird loophole. If someone joins mid-call, they don't get notified, and it's up to you to let them know. Honestly, they should just play the audio prompts anytime a new person joins. On top of call recording, they also give the option to automatically generate a text transcription of the entire conversation. That pretty much eliminates the need to take notes during calls, which I think will end up being helpful for a lot of people. A lot of people ranked the S24 Ultra their phone of the year in 2024. So it seems like Samsung isn't exactly in a rush to make any big changes for 2025. The focus this year was clearly on expanding their AI features and refining the software experience. Prices are going up though. Here in Canada, it's about $100 more for every model, which stings, especially with so few hardware changes. But here's the silver lining. Samsung always rolls out incredible trade-in deals and pre-order promos. So if you're upgrading, those deals and promos should make that price bump a little easier to swallow. But yeah, that's my first look at the Galaxy S25 lineup. What do you guys think of the new devices? Also, let me know if there's anything specific you'd like me to cover in the full review. As always, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'm out of here. Bye.
Hello, Thao here. Uh-oh!